Hello guys, and welcome to the White Rabbit Trading Channel. Before we begin, please take a moment to read the disclaimer below. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor and everything here is for educational purposes only. Alright, let's dive in. Not much has changed from the previous update. Bitcoin is still in the same area and trading within Monday's range. As mentioned before, we could see a move down, maybe even lower, but it will be important to watch how the price behaves once it gets there, and whether we get bullish price action for a strong push. That's what the bulls want to see. On the bearish side, I want to see Bitcoin start closing inside that previous range, ideally below the prior week's open. That's the weekly outlook. The bullish scenario isn't invalidated as long as we don't see bearish candle closes. On the daily, Bitcoin is at a support/resistance level of the range, which is also the value area high. From a range perspective, this is where the bullish side wants to hold, and the bearish side wants to lose. The first bullish scenario is straightforward: hold this level and either continue up or keep ranging, but it's crucial not to lose this support. Another possibility is if we slightly break below this level, then we might see an SFP or a deviation, dropping back inside the previous range but then reclaiming the area and continuing higher. A mildly bearish scenario that brings us to lower support levels would occur if Bitcoin loses this value area and Monday's low. We might get a bounce, but instead of a reclaim, price rejects and continues down to the next levels of interest. From there, it could either reclaim or keep rejecting and go even lower. These scenarios often open up when trading a range and price starts moving back inside it. Currently, Bitcoin remains within Monday's range, where Monday set both the high and low of this week. Tuesday reached the maximum percentage high and closed positive. Wednesday had about a 1.8% average loss, which matched where Bitcoin ended yesterday. Looking at today's data Thursday, it tends to close slightly more negative 54% of the time, with an average loss of 1.76%, which aligns with where Bitcoin is right now. On the days Thursday was positive, it averaged a 2.21% gain, which could push Bitcoin to around 106K, assuming that's the projection. If price closes here or lower, it opens the door for more downside, as that would place the daily candle below the value area high. Again, this level is critical. Bulls want to push above it, bears want to close it at or below. On the 4-hour time frame, it's important to hold Monday's low. A break here could signal a structural break that, as mentioned, opens the door for further downside, or instance, price moves up, rejects, and then goes lower toward the mid-range or point of control, where there's a lot of liquidity right at or slightly below that point. That's where my next area of interest lies, and I'd consider taking profit on shorts or potentially looking for a new long setup. Locally, Bitcoin is trading below the daily open, with VWAP acting as resistance since yesterday, and price is grinding down. In the short term, I'm watching to see if this level can hold for a push upward, but that would require a break above VWAP. Meanwhile, I'm preparing for the next possible scenario. In these slow grind moves, we often see a squeeze on late shorts, and it's important to watch the reaction afterward. A good bullish sign would be pushing above these levels and retesting them as support. That's where I'd be interested. A negative sign that often occurs, though, is a push-up followed by a rejection, then continuation downward to the next liquidity level, either sweeping the same low or targeting lower near Monday's low. We need to be prepared for that. If it does rise, I'll be looking for signs of weakness, e.g., structural breaks, divergences, or strength if it reclaims and backtests that level. Let's have a look at momentum. The daily momentum is pointing down as long as Bitcoin closes below 108K. On the 12-hour time frame, we need a close above 106K for momentum to cross up, but this number will change slightly. The 4-hour time frame also requires a close above 106K to cross up, so we need to wait for the next close. Finally, the 1-hour time frame needs a close above 102K. Breaking structure could potentially generate some bullish RSI divergences. It might also range for a bit and print a new low, creating a higher low on the divergences, so we have to keep an eye on that. Summary: Bitcoin is at the previous range's value area high on the daily time frame. Bulls want to hold this level, while bears want a daily close below it, so I'll be watching that closely. On the lower time frame, I'm looking to trade a possible sweep or deviation of Monday's low, then watch how price reacts on the backtest to protect myself if there's weakness and continued downside, or add to positions on a reclaim and move higher. On the bearish side, I'll see if Bitcoin can rise and then show weakness with a rejection, potentially trading back down to the next lows, or, if it shows strength, reclaiming levels and aiming higher. The weekly close is approaching, so we need to monitor both the daily and weekly closes. That's it for today's update. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I'll keep you updated as the market develops. Until then, trade safe, and I'll see you in the next one.